Adam here with Brooksaw Antiques today with its 1971 Olympia SM9 vintage portable typewriter. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. Made in Western Germany and the second best typewriter of all time in my opinion, only second to the Hermes 3000, and this is the last generation of the Olympia SM9. Beautiful typewriter, and this has unique font. Also known as the Mercedes-Benz of typewriters, smooth, precise, strong, powerful. You name it, it's one of the best of all time. Super durable, probably the most durable typewriter, and that goes all the way back to the SM2 um, back in the 50s. Up top is the adjustable paper guide. This helps you guide the page in straight. I'm going to line that up with the edge of the platen, which is the main roller that feeds the paper, and this is the left margin. I'm going to set that on 0, and the right margin around 75. And this is the paper support arm that flips up from the back like a switchblade and extends to show the page gauge. This is the paper bale that sits on top. It's got 2 adjustable rollers and a scale, and the page gauge just shows you as you're feeding the page through how many spaces you have left until the end of the page, like that. Very handy when you're keeping track of the bottom of the page. By the way, this one has unique font, so stick around to see the reveal of the print when I get to that section. Once you hear the bell, you're near the end of the margin. Hit this line space, gets you back to the beginning, and skips 1, 1.5, or 2 spaces. Right now we have it on single, which skips 2 half spaces. When you have it in the middle, it skips 3 half spaces. When you have it all the way down, it skips 4 half spaces. We're going to keep that on single for now and finish typing. As you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick. I'll type a sentence in red on the next line. Switch from black to red is a switch on the right side here. Flip that down to the orange indicator. It prints the bottom portion of the ribbon, which is red. When you have it in the middle on the white indicator, it prints no ink at all. It just leaves a stencil for copying purposes. When you have it up top on the blue indicator, it prints the top portion of the ribbon, which is black. We're going to move that down for red. Flawless. This would be a near mint condition, but it has some signs of age, even though I don't think it's been used that much. And here we are, we have cursive script typeface, prints 11 characters per inch. Beautiful font. And this is a little bit different than your typical script. That might be a little bit, once you feed it through, it starts to, just the page crinkled up. It's a little bit, it's a little bit shorter than your typical script for a typewriter. I like it better than the original. It looks a little sloppier like regular handwriting. So it's a favorite for those types of writers, and it looks really good with poems and um, personal correspondence, love letters, etc. To pull the page out easier, there's a switch on the right side. Flip that forward, it unlocks the rollers underneath the platen, allowing you to pull the page out easier, load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock. Make sure you flip that back before you load the next page or else it won't load correctly. I'm going to flip this down for now and put the color back on black. Shift on each side, a shift lock on the left to clear that. Just hit the shift button again. Backspace on the right side. Super smooth and powerful. MR stands for margin release. When you get to the end of the margin, there's a mechanism that blocks you from printing. Hit the MR button, allows you to type all the way to the end. This is your tab set and clear. On the earlier SM9s, you will have a tab set and clear on this key on the spacebar. And if you have an SM8, it will be manual set back here, kind of like the margins. But the SM9 is more sophisticated with its tab system. So we're going to set tabs. We already have tabs set, so we're going to clear all the tabs on the right side of the carriage. You flip this switch, and that's an all tab clear button. So now we don't have any tabs set, but I always like to set one somewhere in the middle so that way when you hit the tab button, it doesn't go slamming all the way to the end, cause of wear and tear on your typewriter. So we're just going to flip that little switch there to the plus sign, and it stops at that spot. To clear that one tab, you push it down to the minus sign, it clears it, but we're going to keep one set there. And like I said, on the earlier SM9s, they have them here, and then the touch control is right here. But on this version, the touch control is on the inside near the spools, right here. So if you have it all the way up, it's on the least amount of tension. If you have it all the way down, that's the most amount of tension, and that just increases the tension when you hit the keys. You do have to hit the keys harder for them to print, but they respond faster. When you have it on low tension, you don't have to hit the keys as hard. It's got a really light touch on the SM9, so I usually keep it on low. Um, It's got a minus and a plus sign on this as well to let you know exactly how that works. All the brand new ribbon is loaded on the left side, so it's pulling clockwise to the right. After we unlock, this is the carriage lock. We'll talk about that after this. So it's pulling to that side. So here's how this works on the newer version of the SM9. The ribbon threads through the back side of this lever here, and if you want to swap it manually, you just swap it like that. It'll pull to that side on either side, and that's meant to catch the eyelet at the end of the ribbon. So the eyelet is a little metal piece about 6 inches off the end of the ribbon, and it'll catch on that and swap the direction manually automatically to the side it needs to go to. Now, if it doesn't catch on it and it slides past it and goes through, then you just need to tie a knot around it and it will catch on that. So that's good to know. A lot of people might have problems with their SM9 thinking that they need to manually set the direction, but no, you just need to figure out why it's not catching on it and figure out a way to do that. Okay. We already did the backspace. I don't think there's anything else on the keyboard that we need to worry about. Carriage release on both sides, the deluxe version of the SM9. Super smooth and powerful. I just love this machine. Almost as good as it gets. Almost. Carriage release on the left. If you pull out the knob, it disables the spacing so you can get to an exact spot on the page. You let it go, you get the clicks. Each one of those clicks is a half a space. Same concept with the line space selector. If you push it all the way back, it disables the spacing. Push it forward, you get the clicks. This is your carriage lock. You flip it up and move the carriage to the middle. It locks it in the middle. Flip it down, unlocks it. That will also lock your keys. So if you have a Olympia SM9 or an SM8, even an SM7, and you can't do anything with it, it's all locked up, then just do that. Unlocks it. Very good. That's it. Now available on eBay or Etsy or my new website, brooksawantiques.com.